Hello, church. This is Pastor John, and I want to talk to you about probably one of the most significant things that we have ever done as a church. And I'm here with a big majority of our staff. And we want to reassure you that at Freshwater, we are absolutely committed to you. We are committed to being the church and to making a difference for the glory of God. And we believe that this is the time for the church, this is the time for you to be the church and to be the hands and the feet of Christ. So today we're going to unveil a new program, a new plan to help you to actually be the church to your neighbors, your community, your family, and even those who are, I guess, all around you in your own neighborhood. And this is what it looks like. We're going to explain it real quick. We're going to have all of this information posted on our website. You can follow the links that we're going to give. And we're using Facebook primarily as the platform for this. And here's the concept. As a church, we want to help start groups of 50 people in an online community. And this group of 50 people is going to simply be responsible to meet one another's needs. There is no warehousing, there is no stockpiling, there is no gathering in any central location. It's you, as a Christian, being a group moderator and starting a group and then inviting up to 50 people to be a part of your group. Again, for the purposes on there, we'll have all of this spelled out on our website and on our Freshwater Facebook page. And what it will mean is you can invite up to 50 people to be a part of this group. And if someone has a need, like they need more diapers, they need more toilet paper, they need hand sanitizer, they need some meat for their stir fry, they'll post that need, and then someone in the group of 50 people or less will be able simply to respond to that need. And once that need is met, the comments are turned off, and so that need has been met. So then if someone else has a need, they can post that need, and 50 people in that group, in your community, will be able to meet those needs. And this is Jen, our worship director, and she has started a group that's been fantastic in our community. And really, I got this concept from her, and we've just flushed this out as a staff team. We've all worked so hard together to make this a reality. This is truly a group effort, and we have an amazing team here that is committed. All of us have actually committed to being group leaders, to starting our own groups to care for up to 50 people. So we are going to help moderate groups of 50 people so that we can meet immediate needs. But Jen, can you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the needs that have already been met on one of the pages that you started?
Sure, and the concept here is really the concept of a village. So it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to have a strong, thriving community. And so during this time where things are up in the air, people might be quarantined, there's at-risk members of your community, maybe even on your own street. And so this offers you a way to check in on those people and to make sure their needs are also being met in a safe way. So we had someone bring up a need. They were out of toilet paper using Kleenexes at their house and out of meat and cereal. And so some people just threw together a bunch of groceries and brought them to that person's house already today. So that's a huge need that was met just today, immediately, because of people in the village.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. And we know that we talked about social distancing. For the purpose of this video, though, we've all washed our hands, sanitized them, and we thought it would be good to do this as a group versus trying to be all 6 feet out and make us all look like mini people. But anyways, Pastor Zach is going to explain to you now how you can go ahead and create a group to actually be the moderator of a group up to 50 people. And he's going to say it a couple of times. He's going to explain it to us now, and then we're going to talk a little bit more, and then we're going to come back to it again, and he's going to explain it one more time. Again, you're going to find all this information on the links that we post on our page and on our church website that will keep you up to date. So, Pastor Zach?
Awesome. Thank you, Pastor John. So we are using Facebook groups as the primary tool for you to lead your village of up to 50 people to meet needs and to resource others. And so I want to walk you through how to create a Facebook group to do this. So the first step in creating a Facebook group is opening either on your desktop or your mobile app. I have screenshots I'm going to show from the mobile app. The desktop is really easy. You just open it up, and in the top right, you see the word create. You select that, and then one of the options is a group, and it will start this process. But on a phone, you may need to go into the bottom right. There's a little option, and then it'll give you a bunch of different things, and you select groups, and that'll take you to this page where it'll show all the different groups that you are a part of. In the upper right, you hit create, and this takes you to the create a group page. And in here, you'll be able to name your group. You can add a photo if you want, and then you set the privacy settings. We want everyone to leave their groups as private, but leave it visible, to not hide it, so others can see the group and join it. But it's private so that what's posted within the group, the needs, the things that are being shared, and stuff is private to that group. And then once you hit create at the bottom, that's all you got to do is put the name in those settings, which are already defaulted, most of them. You just hit create, and then boom, that is your group. But let me walk through a couple of those points. We want you all to name your village, FW Village, dash, and then whatever name for it. For example, I created one. I live in downtown Waconia in the eastern part, so I created FW Village, dash, East Downtown Waconia, because I want it to be for my neighborhood primarily, and make it private visible, and then go ahead and add either myself or Pastor John. We're Facebook friends with most of you. Just add us to the group, and what we will do then is link it to the church page. And this is really important because what we're really doing is creating a bigger network where we can meet even more needs. Because let's say a need comes up in your village and no one can meet that. Well, then what you can do is share that with the church page, and we can post that in other Facebook groups, other villages, and really resource our whole community. And so that's what we're trying to do. So it's really important to add either Pastor John or myself to your group as an admin, and then we'll be able to link it. And then lastly, with this post, with this video, you're going to see a group description that has guidelines and kind of examples. Go ahead and copy-paste that into your group. So let me just show the screenshots one more time. We'll go ahead and create a group, either from your desktop or your phone. You'll get this page where you put in the name, FW Village dash, and then naming your group. It could be based on your neighborhood. It could be your workplace. It could be some of your friends. We want to encourage you to keep it geographically close. You may have a good friend that lives an hour away, but frankly, they need to start their own village where they're at. Let's stick to our community where we can pass things back and forth and really meet those needs. Do the settings private, visible, and then go ahead and create it. And then the second step is to invite up to 50 people to be a part of your village. We encourage you to people from your neighborhood, your workplace, your friends, and again, keep it geographically close so that we can be meeting these needs. And then the final thing is to be the village moderator. So we want you to post needs and encourage people in the group to share needs, and also to post resources. We have a baby girl. She's 6 months. She's going to be moving up to size 4 diapers here pretty soon because she's super chunky. And so we're going to have a bunch of size 3 leftover diapers that I'm going to post as a resource to share with someone else. So you can share those things and put those needs out there for others. Also, we want to encourage you to foster interaction. Post encouraging messages. How can we pray for you? Ask other people. Check in on people. Sometimes people kind of disappear and they hide, and then we need that interaction, though. So we want to encourage you to foster interaction within your group. And lastly, if you have unmet needs that your group can't meet, you can go ahead and message the church page. And again, we'll share that within this network of all the other villages. So that's how you can be the village.
Thank you. As we are the village, and as we get together to be the village, and as some of these needs roll out, and the reason that it is so important to link back to our page is so that we can connect other groups together and be truly a central resource. We're not trying to be a bottleneck. We don't want to control anything. We simply want to be a resource and help you to meet the needs of your community. And if you have a group of 50 people and say someone's out of something very unique, that's when it gets rolled up, and we can actually invite or ask all of the other groups if they might have the particular item and simply link and connect those two people together. Now, here's also something we want you to know. This is not just for Freshwater Church people. This is not just for our members, our regular attenders. This is for you to be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ to your community, to your neighbors, to your street, to your apartment complex, to your trailer park, to wherever you live. It's where you can actually reach the needs of other people. And sometimes we think, oh, well, we live in a really nice community. We have all of our needs met. Well, you might, but I want to challenge you to reach outside of even your neighborhood to maybe someone who you know who could use a hand up and who you know might run short on cash in a very short period of time, especially if they're a wait staff. We've known and we've seen these restaurants that are closing and shutting down, And these wait staff just depend on those finances and those resources. And if they don't have them, that's when needs arise. Now, we do expect the needs to actually increase, probably exponentially over the next number of days. And that's why we want to have this platform set up and ready. And you just think about it, if all of us, even on staff here, do our own group, we're already caring for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people just with us. Can you imagine with you as you start your group? And by the way, you can be a part of several groups. You don't just have to be a part of one group. You could be a part of 2 or 3 groups that might overlap. And the reason we're doing that is to make sure that we have coverage on things, to make sure that everyone is covered. And someone even said, what happens if my neighbor, they don't use social media, they don't even have a computer in their house, and right now they're afraid to go out. So what we're suggesting, and we'll do more on this in the future, but we're suggesting is that someone adopts that person, their neighbor, and checks in on them. And that way you can tell the group, hey, we checked in on the Jones today, they're doing just great. Or the person who adopted them could say, hey, we checked in on the Jones, and turns out that they don't have any more cooking oil. Does anyone have any cooking oil? And then the rest of the group would meet that need. They could simply drop it off at the Jones house. So even people who don't have Facebook, who do not have social media, we're making sure to include them in these types of groups. So do not overlook those who might need the most help. Jen?
Right. We just want to encourage you. This is a great time for you to jump in and do something. Make some action happen. Love your neighbors. Draw other people in and not overlook anyone. We want to make sure that everybody is cared for and everybody has what they need during the next few weeks.
And Pastor Marcus, how can our youth be involved in this too? Because this isn't just for adults. This is for the youth community and everyone to actually be involved, to be part of the solution. There is no age difference here. I don't care if you're 10, 12, 14, 16, whatever. You can be on that page and you can help, especially for students. A lot of them like doing childcare or babysitting or whatever, different ways that we can be of help. Marcus, any thoughts on how our students can be involved?
Yeah, as a student body, as a student group, we'll continue just to be flowing into these villages, and we'll also have stuff on Wednesday nights via Instagram live feeds for your small groups. So as we get together as small groups, we won't be getting together as a big group on Wednesday, but we'll be, as a ministry, be sending out things how to encourage, how to meet the needs of other fellow students, whether it be with homework or supplies or things of that nature, and just be the village underneath the villages of adults and families.
And Ann is our small group director, and she certainly wants to just have a minute here to speak to our small group leaders and challenge them as well. If you lead a small group, Anna, what should they do?
You should set up a new group under the Facebook group here and grab the people that are already in your small group and minister to them, but also reach out beyond that and minister to the people across the street from you, down the street from you, and in your town. It's a great time for us to just share the love of Christ with people and draw people to him.
Thanks. So I'm going to give it back to Pastor Zach, who one more time is going to explain to us how to set up a group. In case if you're just tuning into this now, you can find out now how you can set up your own group. Again, the most important thing is to link it to the Freshwater page. That's the most important thing you can do so that we can see all of the groups that are being formed. And you have to tag myself or tag Pastor Zach, and we can make sure that we add you to the overall larger group. So, Pastor.
Absolutely. So this is how you create your village. Step 1 is to create a group on Facebook. So you can go within your phone or on a desktop, go to create, and then you'll get the group page. And here's the information that's really important. You want to name it FW Village - whatever you want to name your group. Pastor John's group is FW Village, Buck Lake Road. He lives on Buck Lake Road. Sorry, I just announced that. I live in downtown Waconia, so that's where mine is. Make sure it's private so that you have that sense of community, but also visible so other people can see it in your area and join in. And then add either myself or Pastor John to the group so that then we will be able to link it to the church page overall, again, so we have that wider network to meet even more needs. And then copy-paste the group description that is included with this video just to give the guidelines to kind of get your group going and examples of how people can meet needs within it. That's how.
And this isn't just for Freshwater. This is also for other churches to use, other social organizations, anyone that wants to start a ministry to localize the networking, to localize the needs meeting opportunities. So we're not relying on one major resource center getting all these people together, but it's people helping people. That's actually absolutely biblical. It's being the hands and the feet of Christ. It's being the hands and the feet of Christ. In church, we as a staff team are asking you to step up and to moderate. We need your help. Your community needs you. Your church family needs you. The extended community needs you. Now's the chance for us to step up and to be the church. And don't wait till all of a sudden all these needs. And what do? I'm saying set this up now. And so that way we're actually helping to reduce fear, making sure that people's needs are met, caring for their spiritual needs, their physical needs, their emotional needs, their mental needs. We're being the community. We as a church are not going to be meeting for Sunday services for the next several weeks. We know that for sure. We're still going to offer online services at 9:30 and 11. We're going to have live worship. We're going to have live teaching, but we are not holding public worship services. But we are encouraging you with your group. You can have a group watching party. You can have a couple of neighbors over at your house. Now they're recommending 10 people or less that get together, but have 10 people and do a watch party. Do the Bible study that accompanies it, but be the church, be the moderator, be the person that God has called you to be. So from our family to your family, may the Lord be with you. Together we're going to get through this. We've got our eyes on Christ. We know that God is in control. And with you, as we start these groups, literally, that will go across the country, we know that God is going to do amazing things on meeting the needs of people locally, one person at a time. God bless.